recently signed Buffalo Bills edge rusher Von Miller went out publicly and stated that the Dallas Cowboys were on his radar, but they didn't offer him anything or little to nothing to come to Dallas. However, I still think he would have never come to Dallas to begin with. Let's talk about it. Now, before we begin today's video, if you can do me a solid favor and like this video, it doesn't take too long to do whatsoever, and it helps the video perform better in YouTube's algorithm. That'd be greatly appreciated. Second, if you are new, make sure to hit that big red icon, make it gray, and subscribe to this channel if you're new or keep coming back for content like this. So look, Von Miller went out and said that apparently he was close to signing with the Cowboys and that they gave him an offer similar to Randy Gregory's contract. And look, I don't care how he wants to twist it. He was never coming to Dallas whatsoever. And you might be saying, well, why is that? It's simple. The Cowboys were not going to give a high-priced free agent any form of money. If you have been following the Dallas Cowboys for the past 10 years or even longer, especially with Cowboy Stephen Jones running the ship, you would know the Cowboys do not like to give out big contracts. The last big contract they gave out was, in fact, Brandon Carr years ago. And I'm not talking about re-signings and stuff like that, because people will talk about that. I'm talking about outside free agents. Now look, I'm not trying to sit here and say Von Miller is some scrub. He definitely is going to be going to the Hall of Fame, and he still has some gas left in the tank. However, I don't think the Cowboys should have bite the bullet and given him the contract that he got with Buffalo, and maybe we see that age like milk, that take. But think about it this way. I do think it's a bit weird how Randy Gregory was prepared to get an offer from the Cowboys for around $14 million a year, and the Dallas Cowboys, after botching that deal, didn't want to go after Von Miller, which is weird. Now, the reason I mention that is if you take a look at the numbers real quick, Von Miller, in terms of a cap hit, is going to be around $18 million, then moving up into the 20s and 30s later down the line because of his contract being front-loaded. But here's the key thing with how the Cowboys do their contracts. They could have easily done a little bit more if they wanted to get Von Miller. And hey, the benefit about doing an extension, you can always make it so that it's front-loaded, make it so that you can get out of the deal early and you don't got to worry about it. Now, that's not me advocating for the addition of Von Miller, but what's important is the Cowboys make talent go away. However, they don't really add enough to replenish the talent that they lost. You mean to tell me that Dorrance Armstrong is going to have the exact same production as a Randy Gregory? You mean to tell me that a Sam Williams, if he plays, will have the exact same production as a Randy Gregory? Well, I mean, it is the mystery box. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. I don't know. But I think what's imperative for us as Cowboys fans to understand is that stop getting big-name guys linked to the Cowboys. Typically, they do this to up their market value. We've seen this happen with Earl Thomas, Jamal Adams, others across the league do this type of stuff to build up their value, to get talks. We've seen it happen before. This isn't like some crazy thing. Like, I've seen a lot of people talk about Julio Jones and like how apparently he had the Cowboys sweatshirt on and how this, that, and the third. Listen, man. It garners a lot of attention. The Dallas Cowboys are a very powerful brand, and I think a lot of us tend to forget that. So let me just tell everybody to stop and think logically. Von Miller, even if the Cowboys, according to him, gave him a Randy Gregory type of contract, they would have had to offer him a little bit more to go get him. A guy that's on the opposite side of 30, and by the time you get into the void of the contract, he's going to be like 36 years old. So it's kind of like, we'll see how that happens. I mean, for all we know, he has a fantastic time in Buffalo, and he just doesn't have any issues, you know? And I think that the biggest thing is that we need to figure out whether or not this is going to be something that will hurt the Cowboys, because they always linger on their cap space. And they always say, well, we're going to sign our own. But if that's the case, sign your own when they're on the table. Stop letting these deals linger, and then you get caught with your pants down because you refuse to give someone that contract extension. It happens to the Cowboys all the frickin' time. They will play hardball with a player. They will act as if that player is no good, and then they will either let the player go after dragging them through the mud, or they will give them a contract that is completely bloated. And this is coming from a guy that's all for players getting their money. So keep this in mind. We're not getting mad at the players getting their money. Get mad at the front office for giving them the contract. I want you to think about that. If the Cowboys, if you're concerned about the Dallas Cowboys giving these types of contracts out to these types of players, maybe, just maybe, you should be mad at the front office, not the player that's asking for that kind of money. Because it's not the player that's getting the money themselves. It's the front office saying, we are electing to pay you. That is something that always trips me up with this particular fan base, and I'm referring to these Cowboys fans, because they get mad about Dak getting all this money, Zeke getting all this money, Amari getting all this money. Like, as somebody getting money, they get upset with. And I'm done with people trying to vilify a player that gets money from a front office that elected to pay them, and they get mad that they got paid. And especially when you could have gotten it for a lot cheaper. And the cool part about extensions is that they save you on the cap. You listening to that, Steven? Like, come on, man. It's just unbelievable what people will do to go to certain lengths to try and say that, oh, Von Miller was going to come to Dallas. He wasn't coming to Dallas. I can tell you that for a matter of fact. And if you want to go into the comments and say, well, Space Cowboy, you can't just go out there and this, that, and a third. I don't care. Stop living in these fairy tales that keep getting pushed by the media and some people out there on YouTube. They want to say, oh, we should go after this guy, or they should go after this guy. No. The Dallas Cowboys are a front office that they have a front office that basically, they don't care. They are run like a corporation. They will sign their own because they want to view it as being promoted to help build the brand, not a football team. And you kind of can see what's been going on this offseason. The Cowboys have had more freaking business adventures and all this other stuff being announced, these partnerships, more than outside free agents they brought in. And there's more of a spectacle with those. Like, I don't give a damn about you selling crypto and some dumbass coffee at the freaking stadium. Get me a damn good football team. I'm not asking for everybody to be signed in free agency. I'm asking for you to do your goddamn job, Steven. That's all I'm asking you to do. So, I think that rant is now over. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. And yeah, tell me how you guys feel about this. So, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye.